Unleash the fury! Crush them all! For honor and glory!
Shalom, shalom, Israel. Giving honor to the Most High God and His Son Yahweh. We are the Battle Axes. Coming to you with another live Shabbat class, a 7-day Shabbat class. Our praises to the Most High God that He has given us another Shabbat to see, a glorious Shabbat, holy convocation. So it's good to see brothers and sisters in the building again as we winded down Passover this week. We are now heading back, like we said, getting back on our journey, right? Being those pilgrims journeying to see the kingdom, man, right? We know we're just passing through. So today's class will be using wisdom amongst the unwise. Using wisdom amongst the unwise. Happy Shabbat to brothers and sisters that are tuning in online, that will be tuning in online. Got a little late start today. Our praises to the Most High God, we're able to have a start. First precept we'll go to today. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. Let's start there. If we talking about wise and wisdom, then we know we're going to be in Wisdom of Solomon. Where else we going to be in today a lot? Proverbs. Where else? Maybe a little Psalms, some Sirach, all praises, right? Knowing that these chapters are dealing with a lot of wisdom, right, that we're dealing with. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, and we'll start at verse 1.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Love righteousness. Ye that be judges of the earth.
It said that we need to love righteousness. Ye that are what? Judges of the earth. The Lord has chosen us, man. Whether you are a brother or sister in here to be a judge of the earth. What does that mean? That means to what? What does it mean to be a judge of the earth? You are a leader. The earth needs to see your works. This is going into your Matthew 5 and 13, you being that true light. The Lord has chosen each one of you, brothers and sisters, to be a judge or a leader or a light to the world, right? Sisters, how do you be lights? Being modest, right? Loving your own husbands, right? Taking care of your family, showing the younger women how they should how they should grow up and be women of righteousness, right? Modestly dressed, head wrapped, right? Not too much talking, not too much wine, right? This is how women are considered to be judges of the earth. Men, judges of the earth, what? Getting your precepts on, man. Learning the spirit, learning the knowledge of the Most High God so that you may reach one, teach one, man. Also, what? Abiding in the law, statutes, and commandments, man. That's for everybody, man. He has made us judges of the earth. It said those that what? Read one again.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, and verse 1. Love righteousness. Ye that be judges of the earth.
Ye that be judges of the earth. So we should love law, statutes, and commandments. And when we're going into this class, right, we should love using wisdom, right? Amongst the unwise. It should not ever be a point where we'll bring down our knowledge or wisdom to get understanding with those that are unwise. Oh, no. Right? We always want to be here on top. So the Lord made us superior, man, right? And with the wisdom that He gave us, that is superior wisdom. Therefore, we should never dummy it down, right? But it's certain ways that you that you speak with the unwise, because you can't just go at them, right, and expect for them to get the understanding that you got, right? There's different ways that we must use this wisdom that we have. Read on.
Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek Him.
It said, think of the Lord with a good heart, Shalaki, and with a good heart, simplicity, man. Come on, man. This thing be too simple. Yeah, this thing be too simple sometimes, man. Law, statutes, and commandments, man. Come up out of the ways of the world. Come back into your knowledge, your heritage, your bloodline, right? It's simplicity within Christ. Even though we know there are deep, dark parables, right, and dark sentences that we must uncover and unlock, there's still simplicity within Christ, man, right? There's simplicity in you understanding your heritage. There's simplicity in you understanding that, guess what? The children of Israel have been in 7 major captivities. Those people line up with you, so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. There's very much simplicity, and that's what the Lord wants from us, man. All right? Read on.
Verse 2, for he will be found of them that tempt him not.
He will be found of them that tempt him not. Don't tempt the Most High God, man. Right? It's like somebody say, don't mess with him, man. Nah, don't tempt him. But this is the Most High God who he definitely don't want to mess with, right? And we should know that. Don't tempt him, man. Don't teeter-totter on your ways. Don't come into this truth and then start half-assing this thing, man, right? Don't tempt the Lord, man, right? Don't get into that lukewarmness that the Lord speaks about in Revelation, man. Don't tempt him. That's tempting the Lord, right? Don't put your foot to the plow and then go back to the what? To the ways of the world. That's tempting the Lord, man. Don't get wisdom from the Most High God that he's giving you, that wisdom that's from above, and then don't use it in times that you ought to. That's tempting the Lord. Why would you have all the wisdom in the world that the Lord has given you and then don't use it when it's time to use the wisdom? All right, read on.
And showeth himself unto such as do not just distrust him.
And showeth himself unto such as do not distrust him. Because I'm going to tell y'all, man, I had to find this out in the truth too. A lot of people be talking about, Lord, I love you, but no, they don't really trust the Lord. And it's proven because when times and matters get hard, do they lean on the Lord or do they lean on their own understanding? That's how I know that you don't really trust the Lord. When it's the deepest part in time for you to trust him and give it to him, the hardest parts and times that come across, when it's time to give it to him, you don't give it to him. You distrust the Lord. Read on.
For forward thoughts separate from God.
Say that again. Read that again.
For forward thoughts separate from God.
Forward thoughts separate from God. I'm thinking of another precept. What else separates you from God? Sin, but it's something else. I know y'all probably ain't gonna get it, but it said that it's enmity. It means that it's different with God. So, well, I put a little out. Forward thoughts separate you from God, and what? The ways of the world. Let's go to James 4:4 right quick. Hold your precept. Loving the ways of the world will also separate you from the love of God.
Because who knows what the word forward means? Forward. What brother knows? Any brother know? What you got, Ezra? The word forward means contrary, meaning you're against what the Most High God has set up.
Read this, James 4:4. All praises, man. Read this.
It's the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteress, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God.
It says you will be an enemy of God if you are a friend of the world. It says enmity, right? Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? They do not mix. That is pushing you away. So when you don't use wisdom in this world, when you don't use your wisdom rightly, right? When wisdom is not used amongst the unwise as it should, that's a point of what? Gaining a brother or losing a brother, right? That could be a point of gaining a sister or losing a sister, right? So we want to make sure that we always use this wisdom rightly and we rightly divide it as well. Go back to Wisdom of Solomon.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 3.
Break it out.
For forward thoughts separate from God.
Forward thoughts separate you from God. Contrary, right? Read.
And his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise.
His power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise. Because that power is going into wisdom. There is power in wisdom, man. There is much power in wisdom. When you deal with a situation and somebody didn't think you was going to deal in that way, that's power, man. They look at you like, who is that nigga? I just cussed that brother out, and that brother said, shalom, brother. You have a good day, man. Hope all is well with you, man. Anything else? That brother asked me, was there anything else I needed to say to him? You sure you didn't get it all out? It's power in wisdom. Read that again.
For forward thoughts separate from God, and his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise.
And that's how it is tried. When it's tried, I mean that it's a situation that occurs that you go through to see how you handle it. All right, like I said, this class, using wisdom amongst the unwise, it's mainly going into matters, man. Right? It's mainly going into matters. How you deal with certain matters, man. Whether it's wise or unwise. And think about it. When we say the unwise, we're not just saying, we know Esau is unwise, right? They don't have the knowledge of us. But we're also speaking of what our own people, right? And then not in the sense of them not having knowledge, but guess what? They might not have knowledge in that certain topic or situation that we're talking about. It's not that they might not, they're not wise. They might not be wise to that topic, to that situation, to that understanding. You know what I'm saying? I could be wise as hell, know how to fix every car, I know every bolt, I know every screw, right? But when it comes to cleaning the car, I don't know where to start, right? I'm wise, I can fix it, but I don't know how to clean it. I let you do that. That's you wise in that area. So we got to understand that there's going to be wisdom that has to be used in areas and situations where, guess what, it's going to be tried and tested for you to see if that wisdom is really true to you, or if you ready to go to that next level of wisdom. Go ahead.
Because even like Captain Yara is bringing out, man, he bringing out excellent points. Think about it. The spirits that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, and we know even in the truth, we have some spirits. A lot of times spirits are made to do what? To get a reaction out of you. And if brothers and sisters are not applying wisdom, Satan got both of y'all. He got the person that he used to, guess what, pull that spirit out of you. Then he have you as well, because that's showing you that you're what? Not learning, and more importantly, that you're not applying wisdom. He uses that particular situation. He also uses what? Emotions, especially dealing with the sisters, to get or pull you out of the spirit. So we have to use wisdom in those particular situations. Go ahead, Art.
Big Con, it's like, like we said, I don't know what's in my thought. Coming out of Passover, we want to make sure that we touch and attack all spirits that abide, right? That we make sure that we get right back on like we never left, right? We know we had a good time within the Passover, right? We know we had great opportunities during the Passover, but now we want to make sure that we get back on track. That we don't lose a step, that nothing hinders us from continuing this walk. So when we deal with this thing and we bring this up, I'm gonna tell you, and y'all know, man, through the spirit of the Most High God, we understand. We had a great Passover. Give yourselves a hand for a great Passover. Great Passover. Great Passover. One of the best I've been a part of so far, and it should be that way, right? Passover should get greater and greater as we keep them until the Lord comes back. We had a great Passover, but there's always things and matters that occur within these times. And a lot of times, y'all, we know. We just okay, we go deal with it at the right time, right? We go touch on these spirits at the right time, right? We're going to continue in the Passover, but things occur, right? And we know they will. We know they will. But we got to know how to handle things using wisdom, right? And so forth. Read 4 again. Did we read 4? Read 3 again.
For forward thoughts separate from God, and his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise.
So when it is tried, it reproveth the unwise. Right? That wisdom, when it is tried, it reproveth the unwise. That wisdom is going to reprove the unwise. It's going to reprove the unwise. I'm going to tell you, a lot of people don't like to be reproved, man. A lot of people don't like to have counsel, right? And especially if, guess what? You already don't like counsel from the captains, much less our brother that's in the spirit or sisters in the spirit that see someone say something. I mean, who you talking to? You ain't no leader. You ain't no captain. You ain't sitting in the seat. You ain't sitting in Moses' seat. Oh, yeah, they gonna pull you. They gonna pull a script. They gonna try to scripture you out. You ain't sitting in Moses' seat. Who are you to talk to me? We all are leaders, man. This is how we keep a nation going, right? We care for one another, right? We keep checks and balances on one another, right? So the reproving of the unwise is going to happen with wisdom, but you got to use it rightly. Go ahead, Doc.
Verse 4. For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter.
Into a malicious soul, wisdom will never enter. And you got to know how to deal with that kind of soul, right? Within a malicious soul, wisdom will never enter. What is malicious? Hateful. I like that. Violent, right? Let's get a definition of malicious. Into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter. Characterize. Says by malice, intending or intended to do harm. Right? What else we got on there? Man, they spelled it out for us just in case you couldn't get it, huh? Scrabble, yeah, they scrabbled that thing. So it's to do harm, right? A lot of people in this life, like I said, man, you'll think a brother or sister got on friends, be the nicest brother and sister. Hey, they got harm intended behind them. They don't got good behind them. You have to be able to see that. That's why the Lord said he let the wheat and tares grow together. Because it's up for you to be able to identify malicious people. And when you are able to identify them, you're able to move more consciously with what? Wisdom around them, right? You're able to understand how to deal with them a little more by using that wisdom. Read 4 again.
Verse 4 from the top. For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin.
So we see that the scripture really clarifies it. That malicious soul is somebody that's what?
Subject unto sin.
Subject unto sin. All praises are. So we got to see that, okay, there's malicious people or people who are not looking to keep the laws. So what we need to start pushing. Before I just go into pushing anything stronger, I'm going to push what? Law, statutes, and commandments, because sin is what? The breaking of the laws, right? So it's just ways that you calculate and break these things down. Jump over to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8. And read from the top. We'll start from the top.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily.
How does it reach?
Mightily.
Mightily. I told you. We just read there's power in wisdom, right? Scriptures back that thing up. It reaches from one end to another mightily. Mightily. Read that again.
Verse 1 from the top. Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily. And sweetly doth she order all things.
And sweetly does she order all things. I love these words play because it's kind of like mightily and sweetly. They kind of like on different ends of the spectrum, right? Mightily would be you would probably see mightily as masculine, right? You would probably look at sweetly as what? Feminine, right? But this is how the Lord uses wisdom and shows you that it'll reach from the one end of the earth with power and strength, and guess what? Also with what? With softness, man, and kindness, man. You got to be able to know how to use it, though, in its time, in its season, right? Wisdom comes, but you got to be able to use it. The same way that the Lord talks about seasons in Ecclesiastes is the same way wisdom comes and approaches you in different situations. And how you use it is how the Lord deems you to be what? Ready for that next breakthrough, right? He says, read 1 again.
Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily.
Mightily, strongly, right?
And sweetly doth she order all things.
But sweetly she's ordering all things at the same time, man. That's heavy, man. Because That's what we need to be getting into. Order. It's about ordering these things. It's about having the order of brothers and sisters to be able to receive one another, man. When we do have to use wisdom amongst people that are unwise in certain situations, right? That are lacking, that are slacking, that are falling in certain situations that come outside of the laws, right? Or basically, you already know we're going to talk about a lot today, Matthew 18 and 15, right? Yeah, we need to make sure that we have that wisdom in this correct form, in this correct time. It might have to be reproving, reproving and rebuking. Yari. They come a little different, right? Might be soft, it might be hard, right? It might be stern, it might be sweet, like the scriptures are saying. You got something out?
Yeah, real quick. Because another word for wisdom is what? Yeah, that's one word, but according to the scriptures. Even more simple. Even when read verse 1 again.
Verse 1 from the top. Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily. And sweetly doth she order all things.
And sweetly does she what?
Order all things.
So in that context, wisdom is what? The laws. Do brothers and sisters understand it? Just another word for that, because the laws is what puts things in order. The law put everything in order. This is just another word for that. Remember, the Most High God is using many parables and similitudes to convey the same thing using different words. That's all he's using. What's the proof of that? What's the precept for wisdom? Bruce should already have that locked in. What is the precept for wisdom? Let's read it right quick. Bruce acting like they scared.
For real, wake up.
Instantly, like we always go with brothers and with sisters. When you see the title of the class, precepts should just be rolling through brothers' heads. You're sitting up here thinking of a gang of precepts, thinking of wisdom of Solomon, even like Captain Yar was going into, thinking about Sirach, thinking about Proverbs, thinking about Psalms. That instantly should light a spirit up under you, light a fire up under you with precepts. Read that right quick. Give it back to Captain Yar.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so.
That ye should what?
That ye should do so in the land, whether ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them.
And what?
And do them.
We don't know.
For this is your wisdom.
He's telling you plainly that these statutes and commandments is our wisdom. Plain. Read on up.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Read on up.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Go ahead.
Because our praise, that's exactly what it is. To be in order, you have to have laws that regulate you, right? That's a great precept understanding of Cap gave. So order is another way for wisdom, right? Which is going into keeping the laws, basically. Make sure you put that. What about it? That's another precept. We let's go back to we're gonna go to Sirach. We can go there too. Let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon 8, and then we can touch on a few of them. Okay. Hold that. Let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon 8 and verse 2.
This is the book of wisdom. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 2. I loved her. And sought her out. We have to love wisdom and seek wisdom. Read. I loved her and sought her out from my youth.
From my youth, right? With this, and that's why we train up the children right now, man. Because the more they get wisdom in them right now, instilled in them, the better and easier it's going to be for them to use it when it comes time in the world. Read.
I desire to make her my spouse.
I desire to make her my spouse, man. That's beautiful, man, right? Desire to make wisdom my spouse, right? The one that I'm sleeping with, the one that I'm waking up to, the one that I'm walking around with, the one that I'm putting on a pedestal. It's wisdom, right? And that should be the first main thing. We know that we have wives, but we know that should be the first thing. And that wisdom is going into what? The laws going into the Most High God, right? Because wisdom is what? The principal thing, right? Wisdom is the principal thing. Go to Proverbs real quick. 4. Yes, sir. I'll praise it.
This the book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
Wisdom is the principal thing.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, get wisdom.
Therefore, get it. Wisdom is the principal thing. Working at the schools, you know, who runs the school? Who's the head of the school?
Principal.
The principal, right? The Bible lets us know that wisdom is that principle in your life. That is your head. That's what you need to desire, like the scripture said, as your bride, as your wife, as your husband, as your son, your daughter. It has to be getting wisdom and knowledge and understanding, man. Above everything, right? Us knowing who we are coming into our nationality, that's the greatest thing we could possibly know. That's the greatest feeling we can possibly have. I know for me, finding out that we were the two Jews, letting the scriptures what dictate that, and what like Romans 8 says, what the spirit bear witness with my spirit, with the knowledge that I received and the understanding putting together, ain't no better feeling, man. That's why Wisdom of Solomon said, "This is my spouse, man." Right? I deemed her from the beginning, from my youth. Wisdom is the principal thing. We have to get it. That's the first thing that we need to wake up and pray to the Lord. Lord, I need some wisdom today. I need something. I need to gain some knowledge on something today. I don't care what it is, through the scripture. Something I need to meditate on. If it's me, my spirit, getting right, being able to speak better, talking to brothers, whatever the case may be. Wisdom is the principal thing. Go back to Wisdom of Solomon 8 and read 2 again. Said I desire to make her my spouse, man. Who was this lovely lady you got with you? That's Wisdom. She looking real nice. Who was that brother? That's Wisdom. Yeah. Looking pretty good. Mighty spiffy. Read this.
This book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 2.
Bring it out.
I loved her and sought her out from my youth.
Read.
I desired to make her my spouse.
Uh-huh.
And I was a lover of her beauty.
And we need to have love of the beauty of wisdom, like we were just saying. Wisdom raising you up into what? Keeping the commandments. Wisdom bringing you back into the fold of who you are. Keep knowing your nationality, knowing that you are the chosen. That's the beauty of wisdom, right? That's what you need to hold on to, right? Go ahead.
In that she is conversing with God. She magnified her nobility.
It said wisdom is conversant with God. It's conversing. They are able to talk, right? They're able to deal. Some people you can't deal with, man. Some people you can't talk to. Some people you try to get an understanding with and it go over their head. Did you get did you hear what I said, brother? Yeah, you said you don't give a damn. That's not what I said. It's not what I said. I didn't say that at all, brother. But it said wisdom is conversing with the Most High God. That means wisdom is going to put you on a direct path with the Most High God. Wisdom is going to keep you within a great understanding and reach of the Most High God. Read that again.
Verse 3 from the top. In that she is conversing with God.
She is conversing, man. They are able to deal, man. Some people you can't deal, right? And it's just like that. Read.
She magnified her nobility.
She magnified her nobility. What is nobility? Brother, see if y'all going to her knowledge. All right, she magnifies it. Take it up a notch. Increasing steadily. That's why when the Bible says study to show yourself approved, it doesn't say it's not an end game to it. Because you continue to increase on knowledge, right? It's a steady gain, right? Read on.
Yea, the Lord of all things himself loved her.
And it says she's conversing with the Most High God and the Lord loved her, right? Because the Lord said, I love them that love me. According to Proverbs chapter 8, man. I love them that love me. So the Lord is saying, yeah, wisdom, we are conversing. Yeah, we here. That's basically what the Lord's saying. Me and wisdom, we here. She loved me, I love her back, right? And that's how it should be. Read on.
For she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of God.
And that's what wisdom is going to do. It's going to put you privy to the knowledge or the mysteries of God. Because I'm going to tell you, even dealing in matters can be mysteries, man. I'm going to tell you. Because you got some people, like you said, they have no understanding. Right? Especially when somebody's trying to tell them something, right? We coming up out of those ways. We coming out of those old men and old women. And some things are harder, right, for us to knock off. Some things are easier. That old man might have been, crazy to understanding, right? And now he's trying to get it and gain more and more he possibly can. Same thing with women. Read that again.
Verse 4 from the top. For she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of God, and a lover of his works.
And lover of his works, right? We got to make sure that we understand what wisdom is. But how do we get wisdom? How do we get wisdom? What was one of the precepts you went to? You said, twin? Swag 19? Let's go to Swag 19 right quick. But how do we get and gain that wisdom? It's simplicity. That's why we read that from the beginning. This is not deep, dark secrets and parables that you have to go through into this class today. Because it's simplicity in gaining this wisdom. We make it hard. We want to go after old man and old woman. But it's simplicity. Read this.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 20.
Bring it out.
The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law.
I love that precept. It's the performance of the law. Perform the law. When you talking to brothers and sisters, man, when you bringing up things about brothers and sisters, if you saying something behind somebody, you know how people, hey man, I heard them say my name. I heard somebody say my damn name. I know I ain't tripping. I know damn well I heard. I ain't heard what they said, but they said my name. You want to use wisdom when you even speaking on people behind. It's all over. I'm telling y'all, man. Because things are going to happen, reactions are going to come. For every action, there's a reaction, right? That's why we want to make sure that we deal with the wisdom. Read that again.
Verse 20 from the top. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law.
And all wisdom is the performance of the law. Jump over to chapter 20 and read verse 1. Because even in wisdom, sometimes wisdom ain't what you want to hear. That's what it is. I was trying to think of something else to say, but that's exactly what it is. Sometimes wisdom ain't what you're trying to hear right now. I ain't trying to hear wisdom, even though it might be, it could be tough, stern wisdom, or it could be sweet, nice, lovey-dovey wisdom. If it ain't the wisdom you want to hear, it's going to be a problem. Brother, you came at me a little too soft. Too soft? Okay. Brother, you came at me a little too hard. Right, sister, you came, hey, hold on, you came a little too hard. But the scriptures speak on it. Read Sirach 20.
In the knowledge of his omnipotency.
Come. Sirach 20 and 1.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 1. There is a reproof that is not common.
But there is wisdom sometimes that's not comely. How do we know reproof? Reproof is correction. Reproof is a form of correction. Brother, I need to holler. Sister, I need to holler. Hey, this, that. It's a reproof or wisdom that is being used that is not comely. What does that mean? Comely means beautiful. It's not what I want to hear. That wasn't beautiful to me, right? The way you told me that I need to do this, brother, that wasn't beautiful to me. Right? Some people don't want to hear that. Some people don't have the right timing, right? It's a lot of things. They don't have the wisdom enough to know, or using the right wisdom to know what things to say, how things to say. Like we always say, yeah, man, brother dealing with a loss in the family, come up to me, hey, bro, I need to holler at you, man. Say, man, I think was that you who drunk my drink out the freezer, man? Brother just had a death in the family or something. You know what I'm saying? Is that the right timing? Come on, man, let that go. Right. Well, we want to use wisdom rightly because it says some wisdom is being used. It's not comely. It's not beautiful. All correction is not beautiful. Whooping a child, but spanking a child is not beautiful, right? But is it needed? That's right. Sure it is. Right. Well, sister, I don't like the way you came in, but I came at you in love. I came at you in the scriptures. I met you 18 and 15. And I think that what makes people sometimes go off a little bit, because when you try to handle things in this right form and then you don't, well, then people say, well, I'm just going to revert back to, I'm just go back to what I used. We have to be able to identify that and use wisdom amongst the unwise. It helps the nation. It helps both parties, man. Right? Go ahead.
Because even like what Captain Yara is touching on, like we said, is a heavy point. Because a lot of times when those things are brought upon, you could say Matthews 18 and 15, a lot of times brothers and sisters put what into it? Emotions.
Emotions make you cry sometimes, don't it?
Brothers and sisters, they put emotions all into it. A lot of times brothers and sisters take it so personal. And it's like, brother, I'm just here to help. Sister, I'm just here to help. I seen something. You showed me something. And guess what? That's where the correction lies. Brothers and sisters should not keep correction emotional. It's not what the truth is all about, man. Put your emotions, take your emotions out of it. And that's the discipline that brothers and sisters have to practice. You have to practice that discipline.
And like I said, when you're dealing with emotions, most of the time we're dealing with what? The women, right? It's just understandable, right? We know them being the weaker vessel. Us men, it's rarely times that we'll have things that we harp on for months or weeks. So once we talk about something with a brother, it hasn't been too hard where I've seen a brother with still like just harping over a situation, right? But say, man, with those sisters, I'm talking about. It's crazy. I work, like I said, to give a little story. I work at the club, and I got to check people's purses. A girl, she work at the club, and I check her purse all the time. While I used to, now I just. She like, dang, you running to come check my purse, sister. That's my job. I was over there. So to get to over here, I might have to did a little skip or a jump or a hop, but I came to get back to my area to check your purse. Like, dang, and then she tell the manager, yeah, he will do what he will. I'm playing, I probably, that's like a month ago, probably like a week ago. Something happened. She was looking for something. I said, you ain't, so she said, nigga, I don't fuck with you. In front of everybody, yeah, nigga, I don't. Why? Because I checked your purse. Like, what's the beef? What's the beef? I'm talking about like she let it, nigga, I don't. Okay, but that's women. She's held a grudge for me checking her purse, and I guess I ran over there too hard. You know what I'm saying? I guess I ran over there too hard. But that's just the point to show you that women are the weaker vessel. A lot of times things happen amongst the women that, you know what I'm saying, this is the reason why we use some of these classes, but they for brothers too, because hey, and brothers can be very emotional as well. Yeah, they can be emotional too, right? So it's a reproof that is not calmly. Sometimes things are not brought the way you want to hear them. Right? Now, does that mean that it wasn't using wisdom the right way? No, I mean you wasn't using wisdom. See, wisdom goes both ways. Somebody come to you in wisdom according to the scriptures, Matthew 18 and 15, and then you don't take that within you're not using your wisdom. Wisdom go back and forward. Go to Proverbs. Now go to what I want. I got it. 25. What is that? Let's go to Proverbs 1 right quick. I'm gonna get it. Proverbs 1. We'll start from the top. Man, what is that? Oh yeah, here you go. Yeah, go to Proverbs 1. We'll get to that one next.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel.
Solomon was the wisest king, right? We know he had to have wisdom instituted in his everyday life, right? He had so much wisdom that he had people coming to visit him, to see his wisdom, to question his wisdom, to ask about it, right? Read on.
To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding.
This is how you gain wisdom. You have to know wisdom, right? We just read about wisdom and how to know her, right? You have to what? Know wisdom and instruction. That was one of the words y'all used and kept asking y'all what was another word for wisdom. And another word is instruction too, right? Instruction is order. All these things go hand in hand. To know wisdom and instruction. Read.
To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment. And
hold on, read 2 again.
Verse 2 from the top. To know wisdom and instruction.
To what?
To know wisdom and instruction.
Read.
To perceive the words of understanding.
To perceive the words of understanding. That's heavy. Because if I come at you in the spirit righteously, rightly dividing that word, right, coming to you what? Not too hard, not too soft, gentle, whatever the case may be, in the spirit at that time, and you don't perceive the understanding. Is it my fault? No. You're not perceiving the understanding that I'm giving you. I'm in the spirit, I'm using wisdom. But if you don't perceive it, that means you are unwise. Like I said, it don't mean you're unwise in a whole area, but in this specific topic. Right? That's why we have to make sure we use the wisdom with the unwise, because they might be unwise at this area, in this topic. But it says to perceive the words of understanding. Read.
To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity.
All those are hit keywords: justice, judgment, and equity. Truth, man, right? Read on.
To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion.
Discretion, read on.
A wise man will hear. It will increase learning.
But guess what? If you do use it right amongst the unwise, they will what? Read it again.
A wise man will hear. It will increase learning.
Oh, man, you might just done gain a brother or sister. They will increase onto that, right? They will add on to it. Or we can have a conversation, right? Yeah, we can have a conversation. I see your, how they play the poker. I see your poker. What they use? Yeah, they ain't calling no bluff on this one. The chips. I see your 1 and I raise you 2. We can have a conversation, right? But you have to perceive that understanding, man. Right? It says, to knowledge and discretion of wise men will hear and will increase it. Will increase onto it. Read.
And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels.
And that's the thing about it. You want to be around wise people, wise counsels. You will obtain to wise counsel, right? That's why the Bible says do nothing without counsel, man. We even counsel. We counsel, pray, we go to the Lord, we come together ourselves, we be on the phone day and night talking, right? Do nothing without counsel, because we have to make sure that the counsel that we are giving and using is wise. Read on.
To understand a proverb and the interpretation.
To understand a proverb or an interpretation. Brother, I wanted to holler at you about this. Sister, I wanted to holler at you about that. A proverb or something that, right, I see or I'm dealing with or I'm thinking about. I just want to see if you're on the same level, right? If we hear, read on.
The words of the wise and their dark sayings.
And their dark saying, because I'm going to tell you, like I said, when you're dealing with matters, there's some dark sayings inside of them things. They can get real deep. That's why we go to counsel. We ask questions that ain't nobody else go ask. Stop playing the game. Let's get deep. Let's get a little deeper. Yeah, so where did that start? Where did this start from? How did that get there? Right? Because it gets a little deeper, because these are dark sayings inside of some matters, man. Because it's deeper than what the eye can see, but brothers and sisters, they don't want to be speaking on it. See, a lot of times we go into counsel, I'm going to tell what I want to tell. I ain't going to give you everything. We're going to have to pull it out of you. And that's what the Bible has those that sit in Moses' seat do. Try to pull everything out as we possibly can in counsel. Read 7.
Verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
The fear of the Lord, that is the beginning of knowledge. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. How do we get this wisdom to be able to use an unwise? The fear of the Lord. Now we're getting somewhere. I fear that if I don't handle this situation right, or if I don't approach this brother or this sister right, that it might come back on me. I'm talking about all that need to be in your mind, right? When we are talking, when we are having conversations, right? All that need to be on your mind, man. You know what? I could be deemed for destruction if I don't handle this situation right. If I don't approach this conversation right. Read 7 again.
Verse 7 from the top. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
And we don't want to be deemed as a fool, right? Because some people don't want to adhere to the knowledge or adhere to the counsel or what I'm seeing, what I'm trying to tell you. Jump over to Ephesians 5 and 15. Yes, all praise. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15.
This is the book of Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
See, this is another way to gain that wisdom. You have to walk circumspectly. What does it mean circumspectly? Brothers and sisters, know? Careful. Don't be sorry. Be what? Careful. Careful. Go into a matter carefully. Right? Think about the wordplay and the things. Think about the reaction that you're going to get when you come into that matter. Be careful with it. Don't be sorry. I'm sorry, brother. Sorry, Jay. I didn't know you was going to act like that. If you'd have walked into that thing carefully, you would have probably seen the ways and the matters of this, the weightier matters of this matter, how it could have became, how it could have went left or right. It said walk circumspectly. That's the first thing. Read. My bad. Read 15 again.
Verse 15 from the top. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools.
Not as fools. What did it say to be a fool? We just read it. Like, what did we just read? 1 and 7. What did it say?
Fools hate knowledge.
Fools hate knowledge. Walk circumspectly. Be careful. Not as fools. Not as those that hate knowledge. Right? Read.
But as wise.
Read.
Redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
Read that again.
Redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
Redeeming the times, man. It's evil all out of it, man. Right? Redeeming the time, knowing what's going on, knowing what spirits are going around, knowing how things are revving up right now, right? Redeeming the time. Because there's evils out of here, right? You want to redeem the times, you want to make sure that you get things. Roz was just talking about it the last day. If you got an issue with somebody, man, let that stuff go, man. Redeeming the times, man, right? Because this evil ramping up amongst us, man. Right? They don't like to see us keeping Passover as a nation of people, man. They don't like to see us coming together. I'm talking about we out there at that park. You ought to have seen how many eyes was on us. Drake? They over there looking. Who was them niggas? Drake? They got that look on them, boy. They got that look on them. Who was eating it? They don't like that. He was ramping up. Go ahead, Doc.
Let's go to that Wisdom of Solomon. You got that 7 and 24. Let's go to it real quick, because even like I keep bringing up great points. We want to make sure that we apply wisdom, that we put on wisdom, that we carry around like a spouse. Read this right quick out.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, and verse 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion.
So it's more moving than any motion. Read on up.
She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness.
And that's the key right there. Read that second part again now.
She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness.
Some things.
She passeth and goeth through all things.
She goeth through all things, not something. So this is where brothers and sisters have that capability to do what? To apply wisdom. It's out there. Read on up.
By reason of her pureness.
By reason of her pureness. Wisdom is pure, man. If brothers and sisters in the right spirit, that wisdom has no other way to come out but then pure. Read on up.
For she is the breath of the power of God.
What is wisdom again?
For she is the breath of the power of God.
Wisdom is the breath of the power of God. Read on up.
And an influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty.
It's a pure influence. That's why Christianity is not pure. Islam is not pure. These religions are not pure. Why? Because they are not of the wisdom that the Most High God put out there. Read on up.
Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her.
Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. Meaning if brothers and sisters in the spirit, you cannot be defiled. If you in the spirit, if you using wisdom, using discretion, using in season, out of season, you understand how to handle certain situations. You understand how to what? Not let yourself be exposed or to be taken in a spiritual trap by Satan. Go ahead, Op.
Be kind. Let's go back. Let's go back to Ephesians. Read verse 15 again.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, and verse 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
But as wise, doing what?
Redeeming the time.
Redeeming the time. Knowing, is this a right time to attack this? Is this the right time to identify this or to bring this up, right? Is this the right timing? Right? Redeeming the time. Timing is important, right? That's right. Timing is heavy. You know, if you sit on something, hey, brother, you know, I want to talk to you about something you did last year. Drake? And we've had that. We've actually had that. We've actually, brothers, hey, yeah, man, it was something last year, man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was last year, man. Brother, you ain't talked about it yet. Now you bringing it up. Is that redeeming the time? For real. That's out of line, man. That timing is out of order, man. Out of line, right? Read on.
Because the days are evil.
Because the days are evil. You ain't got time to sit on things, brothers and sisters, to let things marinate, right? This ain't the lamb. This ain't the lamb we marinating. These are problems that sometimes matters that occur that we must go ahead and what? Cook it out. Go on and get it done. We can't redeem the times if we don't understand the times. It's evil days are coming approaching more and more, and we don't have time to sit on things.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding. But understanding what the will of the Lord is.
It said, be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. What is the will of the Lord? Psalm 48. Okay. You know, you got to look at y'all sometimes and see if I can change your mind. No, that's not it. The will of the Lord. Let's get it. Knowing the will of the Lord. We already got it, sister. Sisters, I know this one. I know this one. The will of the Lord. Let's see what the will of the Lord is.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 40, and verse 8.
Bring it out.
I delight to do thy will, O my God. Yea, thy law is within my heart.
The law. The will of the Lord is the law. We always have to be law keepers in all times, in all matters, man. Even within these matters and situations, we have to be law keepers, right? You have to do it according to the law. What is the law that we have to accordingly do these things if we have matters and talking to each other? Matthew 18 and 15. That's one law we definitely have to keep. The Torah for sure, I like that though, because you have to what? We have moral laws on how we have to deal with each other, right? But most importantly, what I'm looking for is Matthew 18 and 15, right? These things have to be done in order for things to be right, right? Can't be over here backbiting, murmuring for 2-3 weeks and then bring it to me. Brother, I heard you last week. I heard it. How you heard it? What they say, through a little birdie. Little birdie. Little birdie told me. Drop right in on me. These are the things that the Lord wants us to do in order to be able to use wisdom amongst the unwise and be rightly with it, man, right? Jump to Psalms 94 and 8. What is that? I'm thinking that. Look, is that Ecclesiastes? Little birdie told me. Yeah. Here's that 5.
Y'all know what Cap talking about? 20.
It's 10. Let's get that real quick before we go to Psalms. All praises, like Ecclesiastes 10 and 20, man, right? Because if you speak on something, you best believe somebody's hearing something. Somebody is hearing, somebody is listening. It's just people that are just nosy. Hey, it's fine. It's fine. We just got some nosy people. It's fine. It's okay. Right? It's not a problem. You're nosy. It's cool. You in their business. You know, you listen a little harder than others. Your ears a little bigger. You got a little vibration. You can hear well than others. Hey, it's fine. But that little birdie is going to, that's why you got to go on and get it jumping, man. Can't play the games with it. Read this.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 20.
Bring it out.
Curse not the king. No, not in thy thought.
Uh-huh.
And curse not the rich in thy bedchamber.
Now, in this instance, we're not really talking about the king, but we're talking about what? Brothers, your other brothers and sisters, your peers, your family, right? You don't want to curse your family, man, speaking down on them, talking behind their back, right? Read.
For a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which had wings shall tell the matter.
The bird of the air go hear that voice, and somebody gonna tell that matter. And I'm gonna tell you, when somebody hears something from somebody else and it ain't from that person that they're supposed to hear it from, that's a problem. So you mean to tell me so-and-so said this, but I heard it from you? So now you looking at so-and-so like that little dog always look. You just looking at him. You side him, Drake. So-and-so, you ain't said nothing to me. Now you waiting. Why you ain't said nothing to me, so-and-so? And then a week go by and another week go by. And you just, now you to the point where I'm finna address so-and-so then. No, that old man, that old woman get back to you. Well, since you don't want to address me, I'm finna address you. Man, here we go, what? Loop-de-doo. Loop-de-loo. Go ahead out.
Let's go to the book of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. Because like I said, that's why brothers and sisters have to mind what they say. You have to have your conversation chaste, meaning what? Undefiled. Most of God orders us in wisdom, even in our conversation. That's why we say somebody's always listening. Yeah, the angels, that's always listening. The Most High God is always listening, always listening. So we want to make sure that we do things in what? In decency and in order and in wisdom. Read this right quick. Start at verse 1.
It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
So you have where it's giving us the order, sisters, order and wisdom. Read on with their husbands.
That if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
Because sometimes, guess what? Sisters that are in the spirit can win over a conversation with their wisdom. This is why it's imperative that not only the men be in order with their wisdom and ways that they speak, but mainly what the sisters. That's why we always get on the sisters about what? No, Judah sisters, Israel sisters in whole got that what on them? But they got that mouth on them. Read on.
While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear.
Read verse 2 again.
While they behold your chaste conversation.
What does chaste means? Say it again. Discreet, undefiled. Chaste meaning basically like a virgin. Your conversations are what? Are undefiled. Because the thing is, brothers and sisters, we hear what each other say. You hear, we hear the talk. Sometimes it be what? Too much of a worldly conversation going on. And it's our job to set that example, especially in the conversation, especially when we get around the job. That's why we have to mind the things that we say. But nigga, you talking about you want the truth, and I heard you say this right here around the corner. You think that's going to want a brother or sister to come into the truth? Think about it. That's not going to want them to come into the truth, man. Go ahead,
Be con on that. So, like we said, little birdie, go tell something. That's why you go directly to that person. Let's go to Psalm 94 right quick, though. Get some more on gaining wisdom. Read 7 and 8. Psalm 94 and 7.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 94 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
Yet they say, the Lord shall not see, neither shall the God of Jacob regard it.
Because I'm going to tell you, a lot of people hold things in. They say things behind people's back, and they're like, oh, Lord, I ain't going to see that. I'm good. I ain't say it around nobody. All right, but the Lord will have just who you didn't think around you to say something at that time, right? Read that.
Understand, ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will ye be wise?
When? That's a question. When will you be wise? When are you going to be wise, brother? When you going to be wise, sister? When are you going to be wise? Jump over to verse 11.
Verse 11. The Lord knoweth the thoughts of man, that they are vanity.
That they are vanity. Read.
Blessed is the man whom thou chastenest.
Chastening. That's one way you're going to become wise, being chastened by the Most High God, right? Because what chastening is going to do is going to put more fear on you, that the Lord God will what? Knock you out your socks. That's one time you're going to be wise, right? Or you should be. Read.
O Lord, and teaches him out of thy law.
Another way you're going to be wise, the question is, when you going to be wise? When you start what? Keeping these laws. What precept we go to? Well-known precepts, 3 precepts. What we go to? I like Psalm 19. What else we like? 111 and 10. When are you going to be wise? When you start fearing the Lord, man. All right? Psalm 111 and 10. Get it real quick.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
That's when you're going to start being wise. When you start fearing the Lord. Read.
A good understanding.
You're going to have a good understanding and start becoming wise. Read.
Have all they
that what?
That do his commandments.
When you start doing these commandments, your wisdom is going to grow. That's why Psalm 94 said, when will you be wise? The answer's in the scriptures. Right? When you change your mortal thoughts, right? When you go through chastening from the Most High God, when you start keeping the commandments. Let's go to Proverbs 13.
His praise endureth forever.
Proverbs 13 and 20. Let's see when we gonna be wise, man.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
That's another time you're going to be wise. When you start walking amongst the wise. When you start putting them worldly friends out. When you start separating yourself from the heathen. Yeah. When you start separating yourself from people who what? Don't want to follow after the law, statutes, and the commandments. That's another time you're going to be wise. Read it again.
Verse 20 from the top. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
What does a companion mean? A friend of fools. You want to stay around people who don't keep the commandments? Who don't have understanding? Who's not going to help you level up in your wisdom? Remember what fools or what were fools?
Precept. Say it again.
First Samuel 13 and 13. What did Proverbs 1 and 7 call fools? Those that despise wisdom. If you want to continually hang around those that want to despise wisdom, you're not going to make it work. But when you continually be around those that are wisdom, when you join around people that want to have what? The same winning as you, yeah, that's another time you start becoming wise. Go ahead.
And guess what? Guess why that point is so heavy? Because it goes back to what Captain Yara said. What are you doing when you do that? When you see and you constantly hang around brothers and sisters that are fools and are unwise, you are what? You are tempting the Lord. Brothers and sisters didn't know that. That's exactly what you're doing. And a lot of times brothers and sisters wonder why we can't shake certain spirits. Because the thing is, you are around people that enables you to keep doing that. The enabler is just as bad as the one that's doing it. Because that's what our job is, to stay on top of one another and to correct one another. That is real love according to the Bible. Hey, Ak, you going off, man. Hey, Ak, where you been at? Sis, where you been at? I ain't seen you in class in a while, boy.
Bye.
Where you been at? This is how we keep things in order. Like we say, this is how we show love to one another. When you're correcting a brother or sister, we got to stop enabling people because you don't like what they might say or you don't like how they're going to treat you after that. Hell, they might love you and respect you even more. Hell, try that for a change. Go ahead.
That's right. You might just gain a friend, man. And that's what we have to do, man. Read that again one more time.
Verse 20. He that walketh with wise men, wise.
Read.
But a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
Jump over to 18 and 1. So we want to make sure the question is, when will you become wise? We are seeing a lot of precepts when you walk amongst the wise, when you start keeping the commandments, when you go through chastening from the Most High God, right? This is when you are becoming wise and being able to what? Use this wisdom amongst the unwise. Use it in right timing, right? In the right place. Read this. Start from the top.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Through desire, a man having separated himself, seeketh and intermeddling with all wisdom.
That's them a lot of big words, man. What does that mean? Because, man, it's to read it one more time slowly, Roz, because I'm telling you, those are big words. Brothers got to be able to break this thing down. Read it.
Through desire, a man having separated himself, seeketh and intermeddling with all wisdom.
What does that mean? Brother Zariah, give that a try. I see you shaking your head. Give it a try. It's simple. Like we said, like I said, it's simplicity within the scriptures. It's big words using, but it's simple. What you think? You starting. That's right. When you start isolating yourself and seeking the desires of the Lord, man. Intermeddling, right? When you stop going after every other thing, right? Yeah. Isolate. That's what it is. You on the point with it. When you isolate yourself, man, right? Seeking your own desires, man. Right? Intermeddle. Consider these points.
And this is the point right here. I want brothers and sisters, because the notion is, well, we shouldn't, even like what brothers were saying, don't want to mind your own business. We got that thought. But what does this mean? The second point often implies a negative connotation, not intermeddling positively. Positively is what? Correcting a brother or a sister.
That's right.
Negatively is just, you just want to hear the tea, like they say. You just want to hear the talk and then add negative points to it to keep the thing festering and to keep the thing going. I want brothers and sisters to meditate on that as well, man.
She said she what? Girl, I knew it. Girl, I knew it. That ain't what you knew. You ain't know the scriptures.
That's right.
What you knew about this sister, whatever she doing, you know that. You know the scriptures. Do you know how you're supposed to handle yourself accordingly? Do you know the tightest tool of how a woman should what pertain or keep herself? Oh yeah, I knew it. Right? Want to make sure that we don't intermeddle. Read that again, 18:1.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 1. Through desire, a man, having separated himself, seek it and intermeddle it with all wisdom.
Read on.
Verse 2. A fool had no delight in understanding,
A fool don't want no understanding. Read.
but that his heart may discover itself.
But that his heart may discover itself. Right? A fool don't want to get understanding. Read 2 again.
A fool had no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself.
Or what expresses, I just want to talk. Just let me talk. Just let me talk. Dang. I just want to say this. They don't care about the knowledge. They don't care about gaining the understanding of the conversation. It's like we ain't saying nothing. It's like we go out to the streets and teach. When we deal with people, they not listening to understand. They're listening to what? Rebuttal, respond. Right? That same way when we dealing with matters. When you're talking amongst each other, if you have a dialogue amongst a brother or sister, a lot of times they're not listening for the wisdom. They're listening just to say something back. That's why you got to understand that, man. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 3:19. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 19.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 19.
Bring it out.
For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God.
The wisdom of this world, it is foolishness with God. See, a lot of people think, I'm using wisdom. Yeah, you're using wisdom of the world. Yeah, I cussed her out. Yeah, that's wisdom of the world. Yeah, I went right up to her, right when she was around everybody and everybody facing. I told her, oh, yeah, that's wisdom of the world. All right, read it again.
Verse 19 from the top. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God.
Read on.
For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, man. Wisdom of the world is foolishness of God, man. That's what we got to make sure we're dealing within the right wisdom, man, right? We're dealing within the right understanding of this wisdom. Go to 1 Corinthians 1:19. Flip over right quick.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 19. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent.
The Lord is going to destroy the wisdom of the wise, man, right? That means the wisdom of the world. And what? And do what?
And will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent.
Understanding of the prudent. Read on.
Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world?
The scriptures asking where they at, because people don't use it. People don't normally deem themselves to be wise, using wisdom where they should. Where they at? Where is the wisdom? Read.
Had not God made foolishness the wisdom of this world? For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God.
The world of wisdom knew not God. See, a lot of people don't know that they are not dealing within the wisdom of the world. I mean, of the wisdom of the Most High God. They are dealing within the wisdom of the world, man, right? You say something to me, I say something back, right? You rebel against me, I rebel back, right? They looking for evil or evil amongst evil, right? You do evil to me, I do evil to you. That's not the wisdom of God, right? People sometimes are not in the right spirit. We know that. People sometimes don't carry themselves in the right spirit as they should. They do things or say things that's harmful to you. Does that mean you got to go say something back harmful to them? No. That's not the wisdom of the Most High God. The wisdom of the Most High God is for you to say, okay, I see, I understand, but I'm going to keep it pushing. Bigger and greater things, man. What we say, bigger fish to fry, right? Salvation is more important than me to fall back into the ways of the world. Read on.
It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe.
Read on.
For the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom.
The Jews require a sign, the Greeks seek after wisdom. That is going into the northern and the southern kingdom, right? We seek after wisdom. We were trying to search it. At this time, the northern kingdom were what? They were going off into idolatry, right? So they had to come back and seek wisdom of the Most High God. See, and this is what that's going into. See, they were doing idolism, worshiping pagan gods or different gods, right? The northern kingdom was. But they didn't know that they were using wisdom of the world, right? So now they're trying to seek out the wisdom of the Most High God. And that's what we're trying to do on a daily basis. You understand that? You got something right quick, guy?
Yeah, real quick. What is the precept for verse 19? Where is he quoting this from?
Job 5:13.
5 and 13. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 29, verse 14. Isaiah, because remember, whenever we see what as it is written, we know that it's written where? Somewhere in the Old Testament. I'm gonna check it out, but I know this is a direct one. Give it back to Captain Yard.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, and verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder.
And a wonder. Read on up.
For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish.
And this is what the Most High God is saying. He was going to do this to the men of Israel, to the men of Jerusalem, for their wickedness. Read on up.
And the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid.
He was going to take that wisdom from them. Read on up.
Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord.
Read on up.
And their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us?
And this is what the Most High God, this thing is a payback on that. Go to that Job chapter 5, verse 14.
13.
This is the book of Job, chapter 5, and verse 13. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong.
Jump up to verse 12.
Verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
Now read verse 13.
He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong.
So, I mean, that's one that we would kind of add on to.
Yeah, it's like an add-on.
Like an add-on precept.
You would definitely want to go to Isaiah first, though. But you can precept it. You can. Let's go back to 1 Corinthians. Chapter 1 and read verse 23 again.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1 and verse 23.
Bring it out.
But we preach Christ crucified, unto the Jews a stumbling block, and unto the Greeks foolishness.
Read 22.
Verse 22. For the Jews require a sign, And the Greeks seek after wisdom.
So, like we said, this is going into the northern and the southern kingdom, right? The Jews require a sign, and the what?
The Greeks seek after wisdom.
They seek after wisdom, right? The Greeks are going into the northern kingdom. Like you said, they are seeking after the wisdom of God now, right? They were going after the wisdom of the world or the ways of the world. But now, through the Most High God and his spirit, now they are trying to seek after his wisdom because it's different wisdoms. You can be in the wisdom of the world and be totally out of order. You can be with the wisdom of the Most High God and be doing things righteously in order. Read on.
But we preach Christ crucified, unto the Jews a stumbling block, and unto the Greeks foolishness. But unto them which are called both Jews and Greeks.
Them which are called twin. What's that called, precept? Who is called? How do we know this is going into Israel, northern and southern? Isaiah 48 and 12. Make sure if you don't have it, you put it. But to them that are called, right? Both Jews and Greeks. Those are the called. Those are Israelites, right? The Jews being what? Southern kingdom. Greeks being who? Northern kingdom. That's right. Read on. Christ, the power of God and the wisdom of God. This is going into the wisdom of the Most High God. This is why a lot of Christians can't understand this, because they're not deeply getting rooted into the wisdom of God. Why? It said, how do you become wise? Keeping the commandments. Because they're not keeping these commandments. They can't understand this wisdom of God. That's right. They can't understand this. It's talking about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom of Israel. They can't understand it.
And even going back to what Captain Yara said, remember in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, in simplicity, it's simple to understand that guess what? We got to keep the commandments of the Most High.
That's right.
Only an unwise and foolish person would argue that we do not have to keep the commandments of God. That's
simple as that, man. Jump over to 1 Corinthians chapter 2. Start at verse 6.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
Howbeit, we speak wisdom among them that are perfect.
How do you be perfect, Brother Azariah? Perfect. Yeah, what's the precept? It said we speak wisdom among them that are perfect. We need to understand how am I getting perfect? We're speaking wisdom to them that are perfect. Shamwa, you got it? What? Shamwa, you ain't got it? You know I'm be on it. Help him out, Renard. Ain't know I got that. You better have it. Ain't know I got that. What is the precept? 18 and 30. Sisters, if y'all don't put your hand down. They trying to up one on you, Bruce. Perfect. Little better now. How you be perfect, man? Listen to this, brother. It's somewhere in Job. Sorry, Jay. Sorry, Jay. Help him out, Bilal. Hey, man, y'all better write that in y'all books right now. Come on, y'all.
I think sometimes you be nervous. Right? You don't have to be nervous.
Who?
Same, Brother Karatazar.
Brother Renard.
For real.
Because I'm knowing he got it in his book. Just read what you got.
Because he said Psalms 18.
Yeah.
He said Psalms 18. I'm like, 18?
18?
Yeah, where you at?
And this is a precept we always go over.
That's that's simplicity. How do we become perfect? What is those that are perfect? Psalm 19 and 7. Read 6 again in 1 Corinthians 2 and 6.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 6. Howbeit, we speak wisdom among them that are perfect.
Psalms what? 19 and 7. Read.
Yet not the wisdom of this world.
Hold on, but not the wisdom of this world, right? Not just going and shouting at a brother or sister. Not just going and in the wrong timing to a brother or sister. Not dealing with matters on your own time or when you feel like it. Not the wisdom of the world, read.
Nor of the princes of this world.
Nor of the princes of this world, because this is how everybody in this world act. The leaders of this world. That's how they act. That's how they do. Right? We see all the leaders of this kingdom, this wicked kingdom, and how they deal, man, right? Mr. Orange Man, Donald Trump. He just say what he want to say, do what he want to say at any given time, man.
No discretion.
No discretion. That's what the princes of this world do. Not of the ways of the world, read.
That come to naught.
That do what?
That come to naught.
That's not going to work, brothers and sisters. Attacking a matter outside of the wisdom of the Most High God is not going to work.
That's right.
Well, I just had to tell her, well, it didn't work. Well, that nigga just, well, it didn't work. You have to use the wisdom of the Most High God in order to make these things come to fruition. Read.
But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery.
But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery because it's a mystery to some, man. Read.
Even the hidden wisdom.
Even the what?
Even the hidden wisdom.
There is hidden wisdom, man, that we must unlock, that we must gain. And to obtain that hidden wisdom, it requires a lot of what? A lot of work, man. A lot of studying, a lot of dedication, right? Read on.
Which God ordained before the world unto our glory. Which
Unto whose glory?
Unto our glory.
Man, that's possessive pronoun. Lord ordained that amongst who?
Unto our glory.
Our glory. Read on.
Which none of the princes of this world knew.
Which what?
Which none of the princes of this world knew.
That's because that's why Jeremiah 3 and 23 say salvation is seeked in vain. Because they don't know it. They don't know the wisdom that we have. They don't know the wisdom that we can obtain. And that's why when we go through these things and we able to unlock scriptures and mysteries, they can't understand it. Go ahead.
For had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory.
Because had they known it, they wouldn't have crucified the Lord of glory, man, right? Pilate, none of them would have had their hands inside this Herod, right? Even our own brothers and sisters of our own nation, man, right? Because they didn't use wisdom of the Most High God. They used wisdom of the world, right? Read on.
But as it is written, I had not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God had prepared for them that love him. But God had revealed them unto us by his Spirit.
First of all, I'm gonna tell y'all, if you ever go into a matter, have any one of y'all ever prayed before y'all went into a matter with a brother or sister? That situations work themselves out rightly, that things go the right way when I do bring this out, that the Lord gives you the words of wisdom to speak at that time, right? Redeeming that time. I'm going to tell you, you have to do that, man. We have to incorporate the Lord in everything we do, man. If there is a issue or that we must resolve, hey, you need to pray to the Father, man. Lord, I'm going to go into this. Am I doing this right? Give me the understanding that I need to be able to speak to brother, to holler at sister, that things may go accordingly. That I may gain a brother or gain a sister. Read on.
But God had revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of God.
Yeah, the deep things of God. Read on.
For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man, which is in him?
What man knows the things of a man except that spirit? If you're not dealing with the Spirit of the Most High God, then what are you knowing? What man knows this? Read on.
Even so the things of God knoweth no man, but the Spirit of God.
You don't understand God except you're with the Spirit and in his Spirit, with his Spirit. What is the Spirit? Which is what? Yes. Brothers be wanting, hey, what's up with these battle acts, bro? They want to answer one part. You know we got 2-part questions.
The whole thing.
You know we got scripture and what it say.
Bro, you don't know. What you doing? What you doing, man? Not in that context. Brother Karatazar just said it again, huh? The what?
The words.
The words. We need Bruce to be up on it. It's like basic 101, man. Bruce gotta be locked in. Where Bruce's mind's at, man?
Come. Read 11 again.
I don't know what it is.
Read 11, Rise.
Where we at again, man? I don't know.
1 Corinthians 2 and 11.
Threw me out.
Yeah, they'll make it. They won't they?
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. For what man knoweth the things of a man, of a man, save the spirit of man, which is in him.
Uh-huh.
Even so the things of God knoweth no man, but the spirit of God.
But through the Spirit of God are what? The words of the Bible, man. Right? You have to be inclined with the words of the Bible to be in the Spirit of God, man. Right? And it's simple as that, man. Go ahead.
Real quick, what's the precept to verse 9? Read it again up.
But as it is written.
As it is written means what, brothers?
It's in the Old Testament.
It's in the Old Testament. Read on up.
I had not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God had prepared for them that love him.
Now you on, twin. What you got? All praise.
Yeah, okay. Make sure you put precept Isaiah 64 and 4 next to verse 9 of 1 Corinthians chapter 2. As it is written, but as it is written, it was written in Isaiah 64 and 4. Read 1 Corinthians 2 and 12.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 12.
Bring it out.
Now we have received not the spirit of the world.
We haven't received the spirit of the world, read.
But the spirit which it is of God.
But the Spirit of God. Why is that important? Because this is how we're going to be able to navigate through these tough matters that we occur sometimes, read.
That we might know the things that are freely given to us
Because
of God.
It's freely given to us of God. That Spirit is freely given to us. So where is it freely given to us at? Where that Spirit freely given to us at? The Bible.
That's right.
It's freely given to us. Yeah, you may have to pay for a Bible, $5, $10, $12. That's free. Right? It's freely given into us. Go to James 3 and 13. So we want to make sure that after we do receive the wisdom, that we're receiving the right wisdom, right? Not the wisdom of the world going at topics the same way you used to go at them, but now the spirit or the wisdom of the Most High God. Now you handling topics according to the scriptures, right? According to the spirit or the word of God. James chapter 3. We're going to start at 13.
This is the book of James, chapter 3, verse 13. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you?
Uh-huh.
Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom.
Who is a wise man, right? Who is it that's endued with knowledge among you? It says that he is going to be he that who? Read that.
Verse 13 from the top. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom.
Let him show out his works with a good conversation. You got to be able to conversate, brothers and sisters. You got to be able to pick up a brother and sister via word of mouth, man. Right? We are the spokesman of God, right? We are the spokesman of Christ. So you have to be able to use your words and rightly timing them, right? Rightly dividing them, right? We have to make sure that we have and do out of our conversation. Who is that? Who is that rightly man? Who is that good man? One that uses his conversation rightly, man. Read it one more time.
Verse 13 from the top. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom.
Go ahead, out.
Jump over to James chapter 1, verse 5.
This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom.
Because if you are lacking that wisdom, the Most High God tell them to come to him. Read on up.
If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God.
Let him ask of God. How do you ask God for something? You pray to him. You pray to the Most High that he gives you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Read on up.
That give it to all men liberally and upbraid it not.
That give it to all men liberally. Who is the all men, Brother Azariah? How do you know? Thank you, Brother Azariah. Thank you, brother.
Brothers know everybody else's question, but they don't know their own damn question.
Damn question.
What the hell?
That thing be a marvel too sometimes.
Hey, man.
Verse 1, read verse 1. Remember, whenever we ask questions, the questions is always within the precepts.
Okay.
If you want to know who the audience is, you always do what? Go to the beginning of the chapter. Read 1 verse 1.
This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Yahweh Shai, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings.
He's telling you plainly who is written to. So the all men in this context is who? All men of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's it. Jump back down up.
Verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraid it not, and it shall be given him.
You pray to the Most High, guess what? You obtain wisdom. But that prayer has to come with what? You putting in action and keeping the law. Read on up.
But let him ask in faith.
You want to ask that thing in faith, meaning if you pray for it and if you are doing your part, the Most High God going to do his part. Read on.
Nothing wavering.
Nothing wavering. Because we have brothers and sisters that waver because the Most High God didn't give them what they want when they want it. Read on up.
For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind, tossed.
Yeah, you're right. Keep going.
Driven with the wind, tossed.
Driven with the wind and tossed. Go ahead, up.
Big con on that. Go back, turn over to James 3 and read 13 again.
This is the book of James, chapter 3 and verse 13. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you?
Who is he? Go ahead.
Let him show out a good conversation, his works with meekness of wisdom.
He that what? Shows out a good conversation, his works with meekness, right? Of wisdom. That's who that is. Read.
But if ye have bitter envy and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth.
But if you have these things in your heart, it says glory not over those things, right? You don't want to be, oh yeah, I'm one of the best cussers that you ever heard. When it's time for me to get out of something, I cuss out like real good, right? You don't want to glory over those things, man, right? Read it again.
Verse 14. But if ye have bitter envy and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth.
And lie not against the truth, right? Don't go on your own time. Oh yeah, God told me to tell you. Nah, stop it, man. All right? Talk in season, right? Knowing the times, doing these things, lining up the way that we're supposed to. Read on.
This wisdom descended not from above,
This is that wisdom that's not from above. Read.
but is earthly, sensual, devilish.
This is a devilish, sensual wisdom that some people use, the world uses. This worldly wisdom, it's devilish, it's sensual, right? Read on.
What is that? Sensual? Emotional.
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 Read.
For where envy and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work.
There's what?
There is confusion in every evil work.
It's going to be confusion.
Right.
It's going to be confusion. If there's envy and strife, huh? Yeah. All praises. There's going to be confusion, man. Where there is envy and strife, there's going to be confusion. Read.
But the wisdom that is from above is first pure.
But this wisdom that is from above is pure, right? It's what?
Is first pure,
Uh-huh.
then peaceable, gentle.
It's peaceable and gentle, right? When you're speaking to a brother or sister, you feel that peace within one another, right? You feel that it's genuine, that gentle going into what? Genuine. This is a genuine conversation that brother's talking to me about. This is a genuine conversation that sis is trying to have with me, right? You feel that wisdom that is pure, gentle, what else?
And easy to be entreated.
And I understand, you know, a lot of times people talking to you like, what? What are you saying? I'm not understanding what you're saying. But with that wisdom of the Most High God, you know, it flows. It's easy for you to say, oh, I understand. You're able to identify it easily, right? What's going on, what's being said, what the problem is. Read on.
And easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits.
And guess what? There's good works behind this, right? When you have a good conversation of an issue, right, of matters, and you talking, it's a good conversation, good works come behind it. What are good works? That means that you learn something and they learn something. Now you want to put forth the actions of what we discussed, what we talked about. Kind of like with counsel. When we come up here and we give brothers and sisters counsel, and we say, yeah, we're gonna deal with it next week, talk to y'all next week, and see how things have gone, seeing how things have progressed, or have they regressed. It's good works behind good counsel, man. Right? If it's truly good counsel, you're gonna see some good works within that next week when we do come back to that counsel. Go ahead.
Precept.
Precept y'all got. Yeah, verse 17. Let's read that right quick.
Praise, let's get it.
Real quick, let's read it, man. These are precepts. Brothers, sisters need to be writing them down. Write them down in your Bibles. So a lot of times when brothers and sisters reading, you can understand where to get extra precepts from, where James is pulling this from, where he getting inspiration from. Read this right quick.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 22. For wisdom, which is the worker of all things.
Wisdom is the worker of all things. Read on.
Taught me. For in her is an understanding spirit.
For in her is an understanding spirit. Read on up.
Holy.
Holy. Read on.
One only.
One only. You can't bring Islam. You can't bring Christianity, Baptist, Buddhist. You can't bring all that garbage and that crap into this. It's one only. Read on.
Manifold.
Manifold. Read on up.
Subtle.
Subtle. Read on.
Lively.
Lively. Subtle is going into what? Mysterious. Mysteries. Parables. Read on.
Clear.
Clear. Even like Captain Yar was just bringing out, man, it's going to be clear. To the point. Read on up.
Undefiled.
Undefiled. Read on.
Plain.
Say. Plain. Read on up.
Not subject to hurt.
Read on up.
Loving the things that is good.
Wisdom love the things that are good. Read on up.
Quick.
Read on, meaning straight to the point.
Which cannot be letted. Ready to do good.
Read on up.
Kind to man. Steadfast. Sure. Free from care. Having all power.
Free from care. What is that free from care? That's right, Doc. Free from the cares of the world. Because a person without wisdom, you take free from care. Oh, I ain't got to work no more. I ain't got to do this no more. I'm free from care. No, that free from care comes with wisdom. Read on.
Overseeing all things and going through all understanding.
Read on up.
Pure.
That's the point. Pure. Saying the same thing James just said. Read on up.
And most subtle spirits.
Go ahead, up.
They kind of a lot of key points in that. That's a heavy precept, y'all, with Wisdom of Solomon. There's a lot of key points, man. It says undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, right? A lot of people know they go into conversations and talking, and guess what? They whole point is to what? Try to hurt somebody. Let's be real. Some people do that, man. Some people will do that, right? Now, it's a difference from going in trying to hurt somebody or hurting somebody when they need it, right? Because, like we said, it's a reproof that is uncommon. That's not commonly taught. But some people go in and come, I'm gonna hurt you. Yeah, I said this. I meant that to try to touch you up and hurt you, right? I said steadfast, sure. Right? It's sure. One way, only one. There's only one way you can go into anything. Like I said, with us going into our nationality, our bloodline, but even when you're going into matters, it's only one way, the right way. And that's through the scriptures, man. That's Matthew 18 and 15. That's the only way that it's going to be right. And you have to abide by the scriptures when you're dealing, man. If not, if you go outside that way, any kind of way, it won't be sure anymore. It won't be peaceable, right? It won't be kind. You have to go one way. Go back to James 3 and 17, Salakia.
This is the book of James, chapter 3 and verse 17. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits
Uh-huh.
without partiality.
Read that again.
Without partiality.
Read that again.
Without partiality.
Without partiality. Without partiality. Man, there's some holes up in your story, brother. Yeah, this thing. What's the real point? Let's get to the real situation, right? Without partiality. Right? This is a heavy precept showing you that wisdom that you're using from the Most High God is going to be straight to the point. Why go and turn and go around another street where you can go straight down this street and get to the point? All right? Without partiality. Read.
And without hypocrisy.
Without hypocrisy. Read on.
And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace.
And if it's done right, the fruit of righteousness is sown into them. Right? Now you sown good works into your brother and sister, and guess what? Now, guess what? Y'all able to talk a little more. We here. We compatible, right? It said the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. It's sown up in you that make peace. If you go into it any other way, it's not going to be sown righteously, man, right? Or peaceful. Let's go to Galatians 5. We're going to go 7.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 5 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
Ye did run well. Who did hinder you, that ye should not obey the truth?
Because even when we start to dealing with the right wisdom, it's things that will hinder you. There are situations that will hinder your wisdom, that will hinder you off the righteous path that you were trying to be on. That's why I say stay on the straight and narrow, because you can be hindered, right? You can start out so good. You can come into a conversation and a sister, you doing everything right. You met the 18 to 15, you got that peaceable, pure wisdom on you, and then sister give you a kind of a look. And here you go, that look done hindered you. And then instead of you staying peaceable, why are you looking like that? Now here we go. That's a problem. Right? It will deter you. Read it again.
Verse 7 from the top. Ye did run well. Who did hinder you, that ye should not obey the truth?
Uh-huh.
This persuasion cometh not of him that called you.
Because you can have a hindrance in your walk within this wisdom, man, right? Go to 1 Corinthians 9 and 24.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 24.
Bring it out.
Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize?
Uh-huh.
So run that ye may obtain.
Because you will be hindered even within counsel or matters that want to run you out of this truth, man. We done definitely seen that before. Situations occur within the camp. Sisters, brothers, they don't do it right. It hits the fan, and next thing you know, sister gone, brother gone, because it wasn't handled the right way, right? We all are running this race to receive the prize, right? Some have more stamina or endurance than others, and if it's one that's light on endurance, and you go into a situation, and that situation pulls them out or makes them hinder from their race, that's a problem, man. We all got this race. That's why it's very important that we handle situations according to the scriptures. Because now you are deemed to be looked upon. Hey, man, why you hinder that brother? Why you hinder that sister? Well, it's your hindrance because you didn't go at it right. Because you didn't use that pure wisdom that the Lord gave you. Because you didn't redeem the time, right? Because you didn't gain wisdom first and do the things in the right order that you're supposed to do. Because wisdom is ordered, right? Read on.
And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things.
Uh-huh.
Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
Because what this is all about is striving for mastery. Occasions are going to come, right? Problems are going to come. But we are striving for mastery to master ourselves to be the best seed that the Lord has given us, to be the best servant that the Most High God has deemed us to be, right? To be the best vessel that we possibly can be, right? We are all trying to get to mastery. Read on.
Verse 26. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the earth.
Read on.
But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
I say that's a heavy point. Read 27 again.
Verse 27. But I keep under my body and bring it into
He
subjection.
said, I keep unto my body and bring it unto subjection. Think about it. Think about yourself before you go into a matter with somebody else. Think about how you would want to be talked to, how you would want to be treated, right? Think about how you would want to be approached, right? This is what he's saying. He says, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. I bring myself into subjection, right? Read on.
Lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
That when I preach to others, I myself will be a castaway. I don't put myself in front of this thing, that I would do it for the understanding of the ministry, basically, right? That I won't be a castaway. Jump to 1 Timothy 5 and 14.
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 14.
Bring it out.
I would therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guard the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. For some are already turned aside after Satan.
Read 14 again.
Verse 14 from the top. I would therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guard the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully.
That last part, to give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. Women, this is heavy amongst them. We have to be able to identify the same way that Eve was what? Tricked and beguiled. That spirit will be on you right now the same way. To go and say something out of line to a sister, to say something in the wrong timing, in the wrong setting, right? In the wrong attitude, right? That's the point. Give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. Because there's going to be wicked, evil spirits out here. Because it's the same spirit. These are the same spirits. Where was this spirit at? Where was this spirit at? Give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. Where was this spirit at? That's right. All praises. Come on, think about it. The serpent with Eve. This was that same spirit, right?
Bruce said he wasn't sure though.
Who did? For real?
Garden of Eden.
Yeah, I don't know why. What? It's okay to be wrong. I'd rather say. Don't matter, man. But you know you're right. Lean on what you. It's the serpent. It's that same spirit. Give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. Right? That spirit is going to be upon sisters. You want to make sure, sisters, that you don't give that adversary that way to what? Oh, I'm finna say this. I'm finna do this. To speak reproachfully, right? Read on.
For some are already turned aside after Satan.
Because some are already turned aside after Satan. Right? Some of them, they just got their mouth on them. They can't turn it. They can't change it, right? Jump to 1 Corinthians 6 and 9.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? Be not deceived, neither fornicators.
So it's going to show you those that are unrighteous. It said the unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom of God. People love to talk about everybody going to the kingdom. The Bible says that unrighteous will not inherit it. You need to be looking on this list to see if you have any one of these qualities and knock them off, right? Try to work on them. Read.
Be not deceived, neither fornicators.
Fornicators.
Nor idolaters.
Idolatry.
nor adulterers,
adulterers,
nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind,
read on,
nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of God.
Now, which one are we talking about today? Sisters. Which one of these are we talking about today? Y'all been raising y'all hand. Now I'm asking y'all a question. Which one of these are we talking about today in class? Which one of these? I don't hear no sisters. What? Neither fornicators, idolaters, adulterers, effeminate, abusers, thieves, covetous, drunkards, revilers, extortioners. Which one of these are we talking about today? Any sister? Who? Say it again. Revilers. Sister say all of them. Damn it, all of them. Yeah, we talking about revile. What does it mean to revile? Revilers. Pull up the definition. I know sisters look like I don't know. The young sisters, I don't know. Let's define revilers. This is heavy. Revilers are heavy. Refers to individuals who criticize, speak abusively about someone or something. The term often used in a moral, ethnical context, implying lack of respect. When you speak and you revile against somebody, you have lack of respect for that person, man. And that's not gonna be good for that conversation, right? Reviler again, criticize, speak abusively about somebody or something. That's what it is. I heard through that birdie. Sis talking down on you. Sis say you this. Brother says you that. Right? Revilers. We can't have that. Right? When we dealing with matters, we want to use wisdom. If it's something that needs to be said, we do what? Let's go to it. Matthew 18 and 15.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 15.
Bring it out.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Not whisper and talk to your homegirl. Not go talk to your partner and tell him first. It said go tell who?
Go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
You and them alone. Pull them to the side. But like the Bible said, redeeming the time. In a good time, in a good setting, a good environment, right? Using wisdom. Knowing that if I say something in the wrong timing, it might go left, right? And I don't want that. So this is how we must play it, right? Read on.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Uh-huh.
But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses every word may be established.
Because just because you use wisdom don't mean somebody else gonna use wisdom back. Right? That's not your fault. Just because you do things right don't mean people go do things right. They might not do it right. They might come back at you wrong. But at least you lined up yourself with doing the right thing, right? At least you lined up with the scriptures like the Bible say we must do, right? Go to Proverbs 25 and 9.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 9.
Bring it out.
Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself.
Say that again. Read that again.
Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself.
Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself. Saying the same thing that Christ was speaking of, right, in Matthew 18 and 15. You debate the cause with your neighbor themselves, man. Make sure y'all precept this. This is a precept for old and the new. Matthew 18 and 15, Proverbs 25 and 9. Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself, and what?
and discover not a secret to another.
And discover not a secret to another. Now, we're not talking about sister so-and-so to sister so-and-so so-and-so. We talking to sister so-and-so directly, right? We're not giving that understanding to any other person. All right, read that again, verse 9.
Verse 9 from the top. Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself, and discover not a secret to another.
Saying the same exact thing. That's where we just got through reading what a reviler was, right? Talking, saying inappropriate things about people. Jump over to 16.
Well, verse 16.
Nah, 16 and 20. Proverbs 16 and 20. Shalaki, fam.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 20.
Bring it out.
He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good.
He or she that handleth a matter wisely shall find good. When you use wisdom in every matter, you're going to have something good come out of it. Read.
And whoso trusted in the Lord, happy is he.
And when you trust in the Lord, happy is you. Read on.
The wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning.
The sweetness of your lips increase learning, right? We basically wanted to touch on 20. When you handle a matter wisely, you shall find good. When you use wisdom amongst the unwise, you still be able to find good, right? Because what? Our wisdom is strong enough and mighty enough and sweet enough to what? Engage anybody and bring them what? Into the wisdom, man. Bring them into the knowledge of the understanding, right? So even dealing with an unwise person, my wisdom is so strong enough, or that's how you should seek it or see it. The Most High God made us strong. He gave you his wisdom. It should be strong enough to turn your unwise into wisdom, right? But you have to make sure that you're doing things according to the scriptures. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I know that kind of sound like crazy, but do that make sense to y'all? The wisdom that the Lord gives you, it should be enough to make the unwise learn, right? And guess what? We do it every day. Do we not hit the street corners and make the unwise learn? Do we not have new brothers and sisters coming into the truth daily, right? Monthly? This is because our wisdom, man, it is greater and stronger. It's mighty, like the scripture said in the beginning of the class. It's mighty, right? Very powerful. Jump to Proverbs 15. And 18.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 18. A wrathful man stirred up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife.
And then we gotta we gotta have patience, man. We gotta use patience. Read it again.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 18. A wrathful man stirred up strife.
It's some people that just like to argue, y'all. Y'all ain't found that by now. Y'all don't know that bro just like to argue, sisters like to argue. They just want to, hey, a good argument is good for them, right? Read on.
But he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife.
But when you are slow to that anger, when you use patience, right? When you set things up and line things up according to the scriptures, right? That brings that matter to forward. That brings that matter out, right? Read it one more time.
Verse 18 from the top. A wrathful man stirred up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife.
Go to Acts 24. Let's get a point on being slow to anger, man. Acts chapter 24 and 22. Acts chapter 24, and we'll start at 22.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 24, verse 22.
Bring it out.
And when Felix heard these things, having more perfect knowledge of that way.
What did he do? He had more perfect knowledge. He heard these things. First of all, what he did is he had patience. Because what he did is he didn't act immediately. It said when he heard these things, having more perfect knowledge of that way. I mean, he had a better understanding and understood what he was about to go into or say, right? Read on.
He deferred them and said.
He what?
He deferred them.
He deferred them. Read on.
And said, when Lysias, the chief captain, shall come down, I will know the uttermost of your matter.
He said, well, when Lysias come, the chief captain shall come down, I will know the uttermost of your matter. So Felix still got some understanding on this. He deferred it, right? He wanted to wait. He used patience. He said he's going to wait and gain understanding on the situation or the topic. Read.
And he commanded a centurion to keep Paul and to let him have liberty, and that he should forbid none of his acquaintance to minister or come unto him.
He forbidded people to minister or to come unto Paul at that time. He wanted to make sure that he had the correct understanding before he went and spoke. Read on.
And after certain days, when Felix came with his wife Drusilla, which was a Jewess.
A Jewess. What does a Jewess mean?
Comfort.
That's right. But she's a what? Woman, right? Read on.
He sent for Paul.
Hold on. Convert. Yes. A convert. Make sure y'all put that. That Jewish is a convert. Put it right next to it. Write it small. Write it. Yeah.
He sent for Paul and heard him concerning the faith in Christ.
Drusilla is what?
She's an Edomite. That's why Ak is going over. She's a convert. She was a converted Edomite into Jewish laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's it.
She's not an Israelite.
No, she's not. Please. That's it. She started keeping the commandments. That's right. Read it.
And as he reasoned of righteousness, temperance, and judgment to come, Felix trembled and answered.
So read that again. Look at what Felix went through before. Remember, Felix wanted to speak to Paul, but before he did, he wanted to make sure he had the whole matter right, the understanding down. Read 25 again.
And as he reasoned of righteousness.
As he reasoned of righteousness. He reasoned of doing things right and keeping the law. Read.
Temperance.
Temperance. What does temperance mean? He kept his cool. He wanted to have patience. Mm-hmm. He wanted to be calm. Temperance. Read.
And judgment to come.
And the judgment that was to come by him speaking. Read.
Felix trembled and answered.
He trembled and answered. Carefully. Don't be sorry, but be what?
Careful.
Careful. Felix was careful. He went through it all. He was careful, man. He was temperate, right? He wanted that righteousness to come. He told everybody, don't let nobody speak to Paul. In verse 23, right? None of his acquaintances, nobody ministered to him. He wanted to be careful with what was coming out, man. That's how we got to be in matters. Read.
Felix trembled and answered, go thy way for this time. When I have a convenient season, I will call for thee.
And what did he say? Going on. Going on. At this time. And when it's convenient for me to tell you, I will tell you. See, you got to use wisdom in this thing. Felix said, when it's convenient, I'm going to get it to you right now. It ain't convenient, right? Either I don't have the full understanding, either I need some more on this thing, or either I feel like that it's deemed to be, we can hold off on this, right? Read 25 again.
Verse 25 from the top. And as he reasoned of righteousness, temperance, and judgment to come, Felix trembled and answered, go thy way for this time. When I have a convenient season, I will call for thee.
See, a lot of times when we dealing with things, man, if it's not convenient, if it's not in the right season, right, you can't deal with it then, right? You want to make sure that you are in the spirit, that it's in the right season, that things are convenient, that is what? Within the scriptures, that you are right. That's what Felix did. And Felix didn't even answer. He waited and still denied the talking, the matter with Paul. He said, when it's time, when it's season, when it's the season, I'll tell you, I'll bring you back and tell you. We have to understand that it matters using this wisdom. Got to understand the season that we're in, right? If you know you in a season of of a little, you got a little attitude on you with it. Should you approach a sister, you know it might go left. You already mad. You already got something going on. Know your season. Know your time, right? Jump to verse. Now let's go to Proverbs 30. Start at verse 21.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 30, and verse 21.
Read.
For 3 things the earth is disquieted, and for 4 which it cannot bear.
Read.
For a servant when he reigneth, and a fool when he is filled with meat.
And a fool when he is filled with meat. What are we pulling out of this? What are we pulling out of this, twin? I like that. Not and when you talking about scripture, we talking about just the understanding, right? Just having the understanding. But let's read it from the top. Read 21, because that's exactly what it's going to read this.
Verse 21 from the top. For 3 things the earth is disquieted.
3 things the earth is disquieted. Read.
And for 4 which it cannot bear.
The earth cannot bear this. It said it cannot bear it. We read 22.
For a servant when he reigneth.
For a servant to reign, right? A servant to reign. The earth, they don't like this kingdom. They can't stand that, because we are those servants, right? That's going to be reigning. Like Ecclesiastes 10 and 7, right? Seeing servants upon horses. Yeah, they disquieted at that. But what else?
And a fool when he is filled with meat.
A fool when he is filled with meat. See, this could have been why Felix stopped, because a lot of times people don't want to let people have their growth. This fool got filled with me. A fool is what? That's a question. That's a question. One that don't keep the commandments. But it said he's filled with meat. What is meat going into? But the understanding. Food. Meat is going into the understanding. A lot of people don't want to deal with that situation. They don't know what they're talking about, right? They don't know what they're saying. They don't have the understanding. They don't have the proper necessities to be able to tell me something. That's what we're getting at. How people are, they can't talk to me like that. They can't tell me this. They knowing the truth. How they gonna tell me something? Just got here. Can't tell me nothing. You feel what I'm saying? This is gonna happen within some situations, right? Read 22 again.
Verse 22. For a servant when he reigneth, and a fool when he is filled with meat.
This is a reason why some people don't want to let other people deal with them in that matter. Oh, we don't want to adhere to some people's growth too, man. Right? Some people might be able to deal with you in that situation. They might have the better understanding. They might be able to see something. They might not. Through wisdom, we go discern and decipher it, though. Through the Bible, we go discern and decipher it, right? Not because you don't want to hear it. Not because it's true and it's hurting your feelings or something, but because it's right, man. Righteous, right? Go to Proverbs 11. What else do we have to have when using wisdom amongst the unwise, man? There's something else we must have. Discernment? Yeah, definitely discernment. We talked about that in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, discernment. Read this.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight.
You got to have a just weight in this thing, man. You can't have a false balance. It can't be all negative when you're going. If I'm going to come at one of my brothers, I'll be like, hey, man, you was slacking out there at camp, bro. You know what I'm saying? Woo, holding the post, woo. I ain't go hit you hard all the way down. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to exalt you too. Hey, but you did a mighty job, man. Read, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is wisdom that you use, you know what I'm saying? This is how you build brothers and sisters up. I'm not go 100% down. I'm not go 100% attack it. I'm going to have some balance in this thing. But I want to talk to you about your holding your post. You know what I'm saying? How you were kind of slacking on that. But I do got to commend you. You mighty on the scriptures, man. You mighty with the word, with the bringing out the precept, right? This is the way we must do it. This is kind of a understanding of having a just weight and just balance. Read that again.
Verse 1 from the top. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight.
That's his delight, right? We have to have this delight in the Most High God to have this balance, right? Go to 1 Corinthians 6. Now let's go to Proverbs 21 and 29, since we're there. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 29.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 29.
Bring it out.
A wicked man hardened his face, but as for the upright, he directed his way.
A wicked man don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear what you're talking about. Especially if you're right. Hell no. You can't tell me that. I know y'all don't know that song. That was a long while back, but Soldier Slim said, "You not my dog. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that you're not my dog. Like, you ain't my friend. You can't talk to me. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me right. A wicked man would harden his face. Don't want to hear it. But as for the upright, he directed his way." Yeah, I want to be taught. I want to be told. I want to listen and hear what's going on. Read 30.
Verse 30. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord.
Against the who?
Against the Lord.
Read that again.
There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord.
There's no counsel against the Lord. So if you're doing things according to the scriptures, right? If you lining up according to the spirit or the words of the Most High God, there's no counsel against that. Well, did I do something wrong, brother and sister? Yeah, you told me am wrong. Did I not? Matthew 18 and 15 you? Where's the counsel at? How can you go against it? Did I not talk to you and you alone? Did I not go to my neighbor? Did I not do things in complete order? There's no counsel against the Lord, man. Read 30 again.
Verse 30. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord.
That's right. Let's go to Proverbs. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 6. Start from the top, man.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to the law, or go to law before the unjust and not before the saints.
It said, dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints. Can you understand that, Bilal? Can you break down that precept? Do you understand what they're saying? It says, dare any of you having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints. I like it. Why would you go to law amongst the unjust, right? Who's not going to deal rightly or divide this thing rightly according to the scriptures, right? It says you go to the law before you go to the saints, because who are the saints? And we are the what? That's right. And we are the judges of the earth, right? So why would you go to anybody else to the law that are not law keepers? That's basically what it's saying. You're right. Read it again. You want to touch it?
No, you good. Go ahead.
Read one again.
Verse 1 from the top. Dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints.
You want to take me to court. You want to take me to Judge Judy. Yeah, you Judge Judy. Nah, brother. We law keepers. Let's keep it in between law keepers, right? Why would we go to Judge Judy who ain't got nothing to do with the law and don't follow none of the law? Let's keep it in between law keepers. If we have a matter, let's discuss the matter in home. That's how it should go. Yeah, she be tripping. She be tripping. You got
Yeah, let's go to Romans 7:1, because even like we bring this precept out a lot. When we deal, we want to make sure, like we said, we're speaking to them that know the law. Remember, that's what our job is when we go out there. A lot of times our people don't understand the law of fringes. A lot of times our people don't understand about the dietary law, why the Most High God instituted it. Why was the sacrificial law instituted? Why moral laws are instituted? Read this up.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 7 and verse 1. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law.
That what up?
That know the law.
So we have to speak to people, or if we don't, guess what? We give them that understanding. We speak to people that know the law. Read on up.
How that the law had dominion over a man as long as he lived.
And that law rules over us as long as we live in, meaning the laws are what? Are never done away with. Long as you are living, guess what? You have to keep those laws. So then when we go back, even reading what Captain Yar was breaking down, this is how we understand, like we say, you dare you go to them and they don't know about the law. You have to approach those saints, approach those leaders. Then that way y'all can get a better understanding overall. Go ahead, Doc.
Because, and that's going into what? Let's go to well, let's keep reading. Let's jump over to verse 5. 1 Corinthians 6. Let's go back to 1 Corinthians 6 and read verse 5.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 5. I speak to your shame. Is it so that there is not a wise man among you? No, not one that shall be able to judge between his brethren.
Is there not a wise man among you able to judge between his brothers? So a lot of times you don't want to hear it. Where we going? Nah, we ain't going there. That's a good precept. But is it one among you that can give you the judgment that you don't want to listen to?
1 Kings 22.
1 Kings 22. I'll praise it. Let's go there. Because this is what a lot of matters be involved in too. You don't want to hear the truth, man. A lot of people just don't want to be told they were wrong. They don't want to be told that they were out of order at that time. They want to be told that it was your fault. I mean, and it's okay, right? We should feel like it's okay to be what? Mattered amongst one another, man, right? Even if it is, hey, well, brother, you was wrong in this. Hey, I sure was. My bad, man. And it's fine, right? Read 1 Kings 22 and
9, 8, 7.
This is the book of 1 Kings chapter 22 and verse 7. And Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a prophet of the Lord besides that we might inquire of him? And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, there is yet one man, Micaiah, the son of I can't even say Amiyah, but whom we may inquire of the Lord. But I hate him.
But I what?
But I hate him.
Why?
For he doth not prophesy good concerning me, but evil.
I hate him. He don't never tell me what I want to hear. I hate sister. She told me something I didn't want to hear. I hate brother. He said something I didn't like. I didn't want to hear that. But it's truth. But I hate him. I hate it.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
They hate him that rebuke it in the gate.
Yeah, people hate when you rebuke them in the gate. Some people hate when you bring out stuff on them. They don't like it. Even before the show, we know that. I don't like to be told you wrong. Oh, I'm tired of you telling me I'm messing up. I'm tired of you telling me that. Checks and balances on brothers and sisters, man. We hate that. We don't like that. Go to Hebrews 12.
And they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
They abhor him that speaketh uprightly, man. They don't like that. right? You come to a brother or sister in wisdom, right? In the right spirit with the matter. They hate you to rebuke them. Well, you did this, I heard you did, and it's true. Yeah, they don't like that. They abhor that. Hebrews 12. Start from the top.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
Read it one more time for me.
Verse 1 from the top. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses.
What is that great cloud of witness that we're compassed about? Our forefathers, right? Our foremothers, seeing them, how they handle situations, right? How they handle the matters, right? We are compassed about a great cloud of witness. Let us, the same way they tried to or did, let us lay aside every weight, man. Lay aside it, man. Read.
Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us.
And the sin that besets us, that puts us back, that pushes us back from where we were, man. Let us lay aside of that. Looking at your forefathers, going through the scriptures, reading about Jeremiah, reading about Hezekiah, man, right? Reading about what we just got through reading about with Micaiah, right? Salakia. Didn't want to hear him, man. We see this great cloud of witness. Let us lay aside every weight, right? And the sin that beseeps us. Read on.
And let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
And let's just run this race with patience, man. We got to be patient. Even if things do occur and we have to attack a matter, attack it with patience, man. Make sure you do things right in order. Like I said, pray. Pray. Pray that situations are handled and go accordingly. That okay, well, I seen it in my mind, Lord, and I thought it was going to go this way, but it went totally left. Pray to the Lord that it don't do that, man. That he give you the words to be able to accommodate that matter. Read on.
Verse 2, looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith.
And then we got to look at the most important author, Christ, man, right? And how he handled himself and how he deemed situations, right? Read on.
Who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross.
How he endured the cross. Yeah, it's going to be some talking and murmuring, but Christ had that same thing behind him. He endured it. Read.
Despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God.
Read verse 3.
For consider him.
For do what?
For consider him.
Consider him, man. Every time people, hey, I understand it, y'all. I know it, not especially with the sisters, I know. But every time somebody talk, man, you hear your name, man, just think of Christ, man. Sister, y'all gotta have the same spirit, right? Everything ain't meant to be attacked. Well, I heard it. Consider him, man, that endured such contradiction, right? What he called it, these minor temptations that we occur. Read this 3 again.
For consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied, and faith in your minds.
And that was contradiction of sinners against himself. It's a lot of people. Sinners, like we read in 1 Corinthians 6:9. Revilers, revelers. Right? They're going to be around you. What the Bible say, consider Christ, man. Go to 1 Timothy 4:12.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4 and verse 12.
Bring it out.
Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word.
Let's be an example. How Christ was our example. Let's be an example of how to deal with situations. How if things have to be dealt with, we deal with them according to the scriptures. Or if not, we let things be gone, bygones be bygones, and we keep pushing forward the mark, running this race. Read.
But be thou an example of the believers in word.
In what?
In word.
And let it be an example in word. How you handle it. How you speak on it. Read.
In conversation.
In what?
In conversation.
Another way, and how you speak on things. Read.
In charity. In spirit. In faith. in purity.
And purity. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the purity to come. So let's consider Christ. Let's consider his ways. And let's be an example, brothers and sisters. Let's start being an example of how older sisters should deal and how the younger sisters should deal. Let's be an example of Matthew 18 and 15 and things, talking things out, right? Not dealing with one another as revelers, right? Revilers, or speaking behind brothers and sisters back. Let's be an example on that. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 2. Start at verse 1.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 1. For yourselves, brethren, know our entrance in unto you, that it was not in vain.
Because if I do come and speak to a brother, it's not going to be in vain. And we don't ever want to come to a brother or sister that it be vain, that it be vanity. That you just going on your own mind, you doing on your own thoughts, how you feel, right? You want to make sure that these things are not in vain. Read.
But even after that we had suffered before, we were shamefully entreated, as ye know, at Philippi, we were bond in our God to speak.
We were bold.
We were bold, Shalakia. We were bold in our God to speak unto you the gospel of God, with much contention.
Because we got to be bold in this thing. Like I said, if things do come, you want to be bold and speak in much contention. Because a lot of times our forefathers, the apostles, they spoke through a lot of contention as well too, man. They had a lot of the brothers and sisters that continued to down them and downplay them when they were going through, like Paul and Barnabas. Let's go to Acts right quick. Let's get a little count on that. Get a few more. Now let's go to 14. I want Acts 14. I know I want 14. Let's start at 1. Let's start at 14 and 1.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 14 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it came to pass in Iconium that they went both together into the synagogue of the Jews.
This is Paul and Barnabas, right?
And so spake that a great multitude, both of the Jews and also of the Greeks, believed.
So they spoke greatly to the northern and the southern kingdom that they actually start believing on the words of Paul and Barnabas. Read.
But the unbelieving Jews stirred up the Gentiles.
Here they go. There go that person talking. But the unbelieving Jews, what do?
Stirred up the Gentiles.
But they put a spirit upon them. There it come. A spirit, read.
And made their minds evil, affected against the brethren.
And that's what things do. Things happen that way. They put spirits on you and make the brothers' minds, sisters' minds evil, right? Read on.
Long time, therefore, abode they speaking boldly in the Lord.
So we spoke boldly, read.
Which gave testimony unto the word of his grace, and granted signs and wonders to be done by their hands.
Read on.
But the multitude of the city was divided.
Read on.
And part held with the Jews, and part with the apostles.
Read verse 5.
And when there was an assault made both of the Gentiles and also of the Jews with their rulers, to use them despitefully and to stone them.
So it was an assault. You know what an assault is? Yeah, it's an attack. It was an attack, right? It said, and when there was an assault made both of the Gentiles and also the Jews with their rulers, to use them despitefully and to stone them. Right? He still had to speak. We still had to speak within contentions that came of play. Read.
They were aware of it and fled unto Lystra.
They were aware of it. Yeah, we were. We know about it. But what did they do? Did they fight? No, we go speak this word and we go do what? We go and get up out of here and go to the next spot, man. Right? We ain't gonna fight. We ain't gonna get into it. Because remember, verse 2 said a lot of them believed, man. Right? I mean, the end of verse 1 said that a lot of the Jews at that time believed. Some of them came and tried to stir up the things, but they put that word out there in contention. And what? Let's get on out there. Let's go to the next spot. Using wisdom, right? They could have used wisdom. Say Paul. Barnabas, look at this. Say Barnabas, say Paul. But let's whoop these, man. Let's go and get involved. Nah, they what? Put the word in, put the word out, got in, got out of there. Read 6.
Verse 6, they were aware of it and fled unto Lystra and Derbe, cities of Lycaonia, I think that's what they said, and unto the region that lied round about. And there they preached the gospel.
And there they preached the gospel. So let's go back to 1 Thessalonians 2 and read verse 2 again.
This book of
First Thessalonians 2 and 2.
This book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 2. But even after that we had suffered before, and were shamefully entreated, as ye know, at Philippi, we were bold in our God to speak unto you the gospel of God with much contention.
So even though things occur and people don't handle situations right when you have conversations, you still be boldly, man. If you were in the spirit, if you're doing things rightly, if you're trying to do things for the edification of the nation and you're trying to gain a brother or sister, speak boldly in that thing, man, within all contention, right? Somebody get upset, hey, whoop-de-doo, you got to hear this, right? We got to do this thing according to the scriptures. Like I said, we put checks and balances on each one of us, man. Go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, and we'll get a couple more and get out of there. Start from the top on this one, too.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you.
Read on.
For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
So we know perfectly that the day of the Lord cometh, brothers and sisters. That's why we got to make sure that we strive for mastery, for perfection, that if things are deemed to be a problem or problematic, that we handle those situations and we keep it moving like Paul and Barnabas did, right? Even though they had contention at Philippi, they still did their job and kept it moving, right? We got to stay on this straight and narrow. We cannot let things hinder us and pull us out of this race. Read on.
For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh up on them.
Because soon as you think it's good, soon as you get that good level off, things seeming real good, right? Passover, just can't great Passover. I'm talking about things that's up, man. I'm talking about you find $100 in your wallet. And you're like, damn, where that 100 come from? Soon as things pop up and they good, destruction come, man, right? You got to be aware of these things. Always have your mind on the swivel, brothers and sisters, that things can jump left and go left. Read on.
As travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Because travail upon a woman, she can't escape it. It's going down. For real. Read.
But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief.
But we are not in darkness. Don't let us become in darkness that day overcome you. Because when you're in darkness, your eyes blinded. You can't see things coming at you. If you're in the spirit, you can see some things going on. You can see some situations, some brothers extra looks, or some sisters extra gossip huddles or whatnot, whatever the case may be. If you ain't got your stunner shades on, you know what I'm saying? Read on.
Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness.
So we want to be those children of the light, man. Make sure that we are prospering, become these children of the light, and that we can see these things coming abroad. Read.
Therefore, let us not sleep.
Don't sleep on these things. Like I said, we always got to keep your head on the swivel. We want to act on things accordingly, like I said, with patience or with speedily, whatever the case may be, but always according to the law. Read.
Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober.
Watch and be what?
And be sober.
That's another thing, man. Don't let that wine inflame you. Yeah, let me tell you. Let me talk to you. Let me tell you about yourself. I'm going to go on and talk. Well, it's the liquor. Yeah, the liquor tell you the truth. That's what they always say. When you're drunk, it's the truth. Yeah, it's the truth coming out. Let me go and tell you. Right? Read on.
For they that sleep in the night, and they that be drunken or drunken in the night.
So you see that it's giving you an analogy that being drunken is as in the night, right? Being drunken mean that you got them stunner shades on, you can't see. Yeah, like that brother. He don't know what he gonna be able to see coming upon. Right? Read on.
But let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love,
Read.
and for an helmet, the hope of salvation.
What precept y'all got right there for verse 8? I want another one. Ephesians 6 and 11 on through. Putting on the breastplate, the helmet of salvation, right? The breastplate of truth, man. Right? Make sure you put Ephesians 6 and 11 right there.
What's another one real quick? What's another one?
Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 17.
I'll praise it. I'll praise it. Yes, sir. Read verse 9.
Verse 9. For God had not appointed us to wrath,
God did not appoint us to wrath. Read.
but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shah.
And that's the main thing. What is the end of all this thing be? To obtain salvation, man. And we can't do that if we let minor occasions hinder us or stop us from running this race. There's gonna be matters. There's gonna be problems, y'all. But we can't let them hinder us. Give me 2 Kings 20 and 13. Because this brother should have dealt in a little more wisdom. One of the kings that did was right.
This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 20 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
And Hezekiah hearkened unto them and showed them all the house of his precious things, the silver and the gold and the spices and the precious ointments and all the house of his armor and all that was found in his treasuries. There was nothing in his house, nor in all his dominion, that Hezekiah showed them not.
Man, Hezekiah should have used wisdom against these unwise people, right? Just showing. That's why this is a cloud of witness, man. That's why the scriptures in Hebrews showed us. We have a cloud of witness to show us things to do right and things that we shouldn't do. Hezekiah did that was right in the sight of the Lord, but he messed up on this one occasion, right? Using wisdom amongst the unwise. Give me Matthew 11 and 28. Give me this last precept.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 11 and verse 28.
Bring it out.
Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
So coming to Christ, man, give Christ our problems, man. And if it's deemed to be fixed, then the Lord will put us in the right spirit to go about that thing, right? He said, come unto me, all you that are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. We're looking from that rest, brothers and sisters. That thing's going to happen when we endure to the end, though, huh? Read on.
Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls.
We have to be meek and lowly, just like Christ, man. We all need to have some form of that meekness upon us, right? Lowly, right? Your brother's keeper, your sister's keeper, man, right? Read 30.
For my yoke is easy and my burden is light.
The yoke of Christ is easy, and it's proof in the pudding with the spirit, right? What is the easy? The spirit, the words of God. That's what we should follow. Let wisdom use us amongst all unwise and all unwisdom, that we may be able to gain Christ even through some trouble or turbulent times, right? All praises to the Most High God. With this lesson, I pray that the brothers and sisters had some form of edification. I pray that these things were brought out for the nation to realize and prove what we have to keep pushing on, right? I pray that the Father's still with us today, that he was with us through the Spirit. We always say keep the laws of the Most High God, so we always want to keep a law, bring a law out. You in the Spirit. Deuteronomy 4 and 5, man, that's that wisdom. This will be the law for today. We thank brothers and sisters that help send money to the Cash App or the GoFundMe for the uplifting of this kingdom. This money is being used greatly for the kingdom, for the word, for the Lord and his building. So we thank y'all brothers and sisters for that. Tune in. Classes every day. We got classes every night from the brothers, soldiers, captains, officers. Happy Shabbat. We'll give y'all this law and we'll get out of here for today.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land, whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them.
What did he say?
Keep therefore and do them.
Keep therefore and do them. Why?
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
This is how we are wiser than the other nations. By keeping our laws, by abiding by our laws, and what? Delegating each other with laws, right? All praises to the Most High God. With that, we say, Shalom.